Unpopular Opinions, episode 31. Basketball should have height classes. Okay, so this person wrote a paragraph. I will leave it here for you guys to read. I don't necessarily agree. The main reason is just because I feel like it's just not. I just don't see it as financially doable. I feel like that's going to be pretty expensive. If there are 30 teams right now, if every team had their own height class in that individual team, they would have like 5 more teams within that one team. So you would have like the 6'2" Lakers, the 7-foot Lakers, the 5'9" Lakers. I don't know, whatever. You get what I'm saying. I just don't see that as financially doable. How would you even do that? You would separate the league in multiple different ones, and then there's just more games, just more separate. I just feel like it's more of a headache to incorporate all that, because another thing too is there's a lot of players per team. Obviously, it's not as big as an NFL roster, but there's like 15? It's like 15 per team, 30 teams. It's like 400 and something, 430, something like that. So that's a lot of players. That's a lot of things to keep track of. The main reason this person is saying this is because I guess they want to kind of copy what they're doing in the UFC. What weight class is. The thing is, the UFC is kind of one-on-one. It's a very, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a small group, but it's for sure smaller than an NBA full roster, without a doubt. So that is doable just because it's the one-on-one. This is a team thing. This is a team effort. You gotta have 5 guys who are 6'5", and then pair them up with another team that's 6'5", and then you gotta get 28 other teams with dudes who are 6'5". What the fuck? Yeah, I just don't see this as being realistically viable or just doable. It just seems like a headache more than anything. So I just realistically don't see this as doable for sure. So this is an unpopular opinion for me. The next one is watered down soft drinks taste better. Okay, what the fuck are we doing here, bro? Oh my god. Okay, the only time that a watered down soft drink will taste better is if you're fish. It's if you're that chick from Pitch Perfect, the one with gills or something like that. That's a deep cut for sure. But yeah, I don't get this. What's funny? I will say this. Some people in the comments, they're saying how just drink sparkling water. Okay, listen up, buddy. Sparkling water is not the same as a soda. That's for sure. It's not the same as a watered down soda. Soda has taste. Soda has a different taste. Sparkling water is just carbonated water, and I don't like that. I don't really like carbonated water. I like water. I like soda. I don't like carbonated water. It's just weird. I don't know. It's just bubbly, and there's no taste. I feel like that's the only reason that I go for a carbonated drink is for flavor, like root beer or Dr. Pepper, right? So some people saying, "Oh, just drink carbon." Nah, shut the fuck. Ah, just kidding. No, carbonated water, I don't think it's the same as a watered down soft drink. That's for sure. But overall, I do kind of agree with watered down orange juice, or especially fruit drinks, right? Like cranberry juice, orange juice, apple juice, maybe some and then, every now and then apple juice, but I love apple juice for sure. Orange juice is overrated as fuck. Soda, yeah, I don't mind having a nice cold soda for sure, when you put the ice freshly in, so it doesn't water it down too bad. That's really good. And when it does get watered down, when it gets heavily watered down, it's god damn, yeah, that shit sucks. But for the most part, I can deal with it for sure. I feel like I'm talking way too much of something that's so simple. Yeah, watered down soft drinks don't taste better, that's for sure. And the last one is Barnes & Nobles is one of the worst options for consuming books. Barnes & Nobles is so expensive and has become a store with such shill for the mass market paperback trophy. Your romance novels that are being pumped out faster than being consumed. If you shop there over somewhere less expensive like Amazon out of mortality by supporting physical bookstores, no, it's just another insidious chain that overcharges you. Books are so ubiquitous, I argue buying used and using the library is the most ethical way to do it, but I understand wanting to gift or own a new book, so why not go to a local store for the same cost if you can? Wouldn't you rather support the bookstore scene by giving your ludicrous $18 for a paperback to those who care about books? Okay, so I think I don't really go to Barnes & Nobles too much. I've recently started going because I got really big into graphic novels, and I do like reading graphic novels now. Barnes & Nobles, to me, I feel like is probably done better than before. I mean, now they have a cafe inside. They have some Lego stuff too that I kind of look at. Do I buy them? No, because Legos are expensive. But I think the main reason why Barnes & Nobles is still pretty good is convenience. Barnes & Nobles has a very wide range of books. There's a lot of books. Each one it has its own category, so you can kind of, you know, a very specific book you're looking for. I think most of the time it is in alphabetical order. I mean, obviously people don't put books back where they're supposed to, but most time they are in alphabetical order, so it is pretty easy to find a book, even if it's a niche book. Also, I think they do support what indie authors, right? I think like smaller authors can get their book in Barnes and Nobles. You may have to fact check me on that. I'm not too sure, but I think so. And I think the big reason too why Barnes and Nobles probably does more successful than, you know, small mom and pop bookshops is because those Barnes and Nobles is open later than the other ones. You know, that's always been my kind of complaint. Like, I love supporting local stores, but the thing is, what sucks is that because they're local, they close at 5 p.m. You know, they close when I get out of work, and the only time that I'm able to go is when I'm not working, but that's when they close. That's what kind of sucks. I remember I wanted to go to like a local bookstore, but I couldn't because they were closed. Well, luckily Barnes and Nobles was open, so I just went there and I bought my book. You know, that's the thing. Is, you know, some of them they're just closed. They're open what, Monday? They're probably open like what, Tuesday through Thursday from what, like 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. That's the latest they'll be open, like 6 p.m. And even then, you still can't seem to make it on time, right? So I don't really agree. Another thing too is like I said, like I don't hate on supporting your local bookstores, but I mean there's a reason why Barnes and Nobles is kind of successful right now, and I feel like they are doing pretty decent. I honestly have no hate towards Barnes and Nobles. I think they're doing a pretty good job, especially like with the way it's maintained and just how it's run. It just looks nice and it just feels safe. It feels good. So yeah, I don't know about this. This is probably an unpopular opinion for sure, but let me know what you guys think.